Good day, everyone. I am Archie Tanduyan, and we are tasked to discuss three among the 30 basic human rights. Have you ever asked yourself if you have the dignity and value? Do you believe that there are laws protecting you in everything you do as long as you are abiding it? Alright, so everyone believes that every person has dignity and value. One of the ways that we recognize the fundamental worth of every person is by acknowledging and respecting their human rights. These human rights are the same for all people everywhere, men and women, young and old, rich and poor, regardless of our background, where we live, what we think, or what we believe. This is what makes human rights universal. So, what are human rights? Human rights are a set of principles concerned with equality and fairness. They recognize our freedom to make choices about our lives and to develop our potential as human beings. They are about living a life free from fear, harassment, or even discrimination. Human rights are the basic rights and freedom that belong to all people in the world, from birth to death. We are experiencing these rights right now as we paved in this world. These rights are based on shared values like dignity, equality, fairness, respect, and independence. These ethics are protected and defined by the laws of various countries, and one of these is the Philippines. So, the first basic human right is the no discrimination. The Article 2 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR, states that every human being is entitled to all rights and freedoms without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. So, all of us have the right to not experience or endure any discrimination in any form. So, example of discrimination is the physical disability. There are some people that would make fun to someone because of his or her physical appearance or physical disability. Discrimination can also occur because of our race, color, sex, age, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, mental disability, and the likes. So, as an individual, it is very important for us to be aware about this right, for us to be able to live our lives without any fear of being discriminated against, and for us to be guided on what we're gonna do whenever we encounter such situation. So the second basic human right is the no torture and inhuman treatment. In the Article 5 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. So, your right not to be tortured or treated in an inhuman or degrading way is absolute. This means it must never be limited or restricted in any way. For example, a public authority can never use lack of resources as a defense against an accusation that it has treated someone in an inhuman or degrading way. In particular, no one shall be subjected without his or her free consent to medical or scientific experimentation. So it is very important for us to be aware about this right. Thus, we will be guided on how to take action whenever we face some biases in terms of clarifying incidents. And the third basic human right is the no unfair detainment. And the Article 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. So, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest or detention. No one shall be deprived of his liberty except on such grounds and in accordance with such procedure as are established by law. If a person is put into a detention center anywhere in the world and is forgotten by the workers there, this would be an example of unfair detainment. And if a person is let out of jail because the guards are abusive or not treating them right, then this is an example of your right to no unfair detainment being protected. So it is very important that we are enlightened about this right for us to have the knowledge to defend ourselves and to reason out whenever we will be put into such situation. I choose these three basic human rights among the others because the actions protected by these rights are prevalent nowadays. Being enlightened and educated with our rights as a human being is crucial for us to have or to act in accordance with the law. I implore everyone to adhere and abide with the law because ignorance of the law excuses no one. No matter who you are, what position you have, as long as you violate the law, then you will face the consequences by means of due process. So that's all. I hope you've learned something and find it interesting.